Shake the whole body. And let's loosen up the waist. Feel like your feet are glued to the floor. The waist is relaxed. Your upper body is light and follows where the waist leads it. Notice that in this exercise, the hands and arms don't move. And you're thinking, what do you mean hands and arms don't move? They're going all over the place. No, they don't move at all. The waist moves. And the arms just hang relaxed. And if the waist stops moving, that's what happens. Someone's in the waiting room. Okay. So. Okay, let's bring the feet together and we'll loosen up the knees. And change direction. Oh, more people popping into the waiting room. We'll admit them. All right. Get in? Yes, okay. And change direction. And now the ankles. And change direction. And the other foot. reverse directions. Okay. So you've tuned in expecting the Qigong battle of the century. The 6 healing sounds versus the 8 pieces of brocade. Who will prevail? Well, of course, this is not good Qigong. So what we want to do is not have yang versus yang conflict, but to have a harmonization. And so let me confess that the clash of the Qigongs was just hype in this morning's email, because there's no real conflict between the 8 pieces and the 6 healing sounds. They work together very nicely, as we shall see as we start the 8 pieces. Anybody have their healing hand? I hope you saw the message, otherwise you're going to think that's just... Okay, so feet hip width apart. Or you could put the heels together if you were really daring about challenging your balance. First piece. 2 hands hold the heavens to regulate the Sanjiao. And the Sanjiao is the triple burner. And that clears everything up, right? So it's this area: upper burner, middle burner, lower burner. The torso and the upper respiratory apparatus. The healing sound for triple burner is Shi, Shi. S-H-E-E-E-E-E. Okay, so inhale, exhale. Just lift up the heels. Hold for 3 seconds. Come down on the heels. Bend to the left. Bend, come back to center. Bend to the right. Come back to center. Exhale and healing sound for triple burner. Remember the sound of no sound, so I'll be making the sound more loudly than it should be made. Sacrificing myself for your sake, so you remember to make the sound. You should make the sound of no sound. In, out, lift up the heels. In, come down, out to bend. In, come back to center, out to bend to the other side. In, come back to center, out, and in and out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Someone in the waiting room. In and out. In, out. In, out. In, out, and triple burner sound. Remember, when you make the sound, you feel the release of stale energy out the throat and out through the interstitium. Also the release of heat. In and out. In, come down. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In and out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In and out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Let's try a couple of the variations on this one. So one variation, well, the variation is that we go to like an X pattern, which I'll show you here. In, out, in, come down, turn 45 degrees, bend along that axis. Come back to center, turn 45 degrees the other way, bend along that axis. Come back to center. Exhale and sound. One more. In and out. In. Turn 45. Out. In. Out. In. Come back to center, turn 45 the other way, out, in, out, in, come back to center, and second piece, left, right, bend the bow like shooting a hawk in the air. So we step out with the right foot up to a double shoulder width wide stance. I have to keep myself centered on the camera, that's why I'm moving my left foot too. Okay, now, in, out, tuck the buttocks under, feel like you're pulling a very strong bow. Gaze off in the distance like shooting a hawk in the air. Inhale. Exhale. Shoot to the other side. The arrow is the sword secret hand form. Out. Tuck the buttocks under. In and out. Let me show you the side view. In, now let's do variation. Our bow and arrow fishing. Bend from here. In, out. So we'll say, keep this part stable, bend here at the waist. Don't bend with the legs, okay? In, out. In, out. Now the hawk is very high flying. In, same deal with bend from here. In, out. You're on horseback being chased by outlaws. Keep the knees straight ahead, do the turning in the waist. Let's do one more round of those. You're on horseback chasing outlaws. Okay, piece number 3, and now we get back to bringing in the sounds. So when I raise my left arm, and on the left side, we'll make the healing sound for spleen, hu. And when we're on the right side, we'll make the healing sound for liver, shu. Okay, so left side, raise your left arm. We go back to hip width distance between the feet. In, out. In, out. When you feel the area around the spleen relax, healing sound. In and out. In, out. When you feel the area around the liver relax, make the healing sound for liver. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Shoo. Feel like both palms are pushing against slight resistance. In, out. But don't tense the muscles. In, out. Hoo. In, out. In, out. Shoo. In, out. In, out. Hoo. In, out. In, out. Shoo. In, out. In, out. Hoo. In, out. In, out. Shoo. Now an enhancement. We're going to raise the left arm and turn to the left. In, out. Left arm and turn to the left. Hold the position. In. Come back to center. Out and spleen sound. Hoo. In. Out. Keep the knees straight ahead. In. Come back to the front. Out and shoo. One more round. In. and out. If you turn your knees, then you lose the effect of the exercise. There's no more stretch here on the spleen area. So knees stay straight ahead. Turn in the waist. Out. In. And back to the front. Out. Whoo. In. Out. In. Come back to the front. Out and shoo. Okay, piece number 4. The 5 injuries and 7 illnesses. Turn, look behind you, they'll be gone. So, if you know the Yang Chuan breathing, you can add Yang Chuan breathing to this exercise. In, out. Turn, visualize your illnesses and injuries left behind. Chest stays square to the front. In, back to center. Out. Turn to the other side. In. Out. In. Out. In. There's 2 ways you can do this, okay? So one way is out, in, out, in. The other way is out, in, out, in. Okay, so we'll do the quicker way. Out, in, 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 out, in. Okay, now there's 3 parts to this exercise. So the second part, we place the hands like this. Thumbs on the outside of the waist, fingers pointing towards the spine. Everything else the same. Out, in, 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 out, in. And third part, arms like this, shoulders down and relaxed. Fingertips not too high, not too low. Out, in, 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 out, in. So that's piece number 4. Piece number 5. Swing the head and sway the tail to eliminate the heart fire. We can use either the heart healing sound or the lung healing sound for this one. So it's a toss-up as to which you want to use. The heart sound is like a dog panting. The lung sound is like air leaking from a balloon. I'm going to use the lung sound because allergies. Okay, so step the right foot out to up to a double shoulder width horse stance. Squat down, place the hands on the knees, hands on the legs just above the knees with the thumbs on the outside of the leg. Inhale. Exhale, shift to the side, doesn't matter which side. Press down with your hand on the knee. Hold the position. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Don't let your head drop down. In. Out. Press down with the hand on the other knee. In. Out. Come up. Make a healing sound. So we have to come up to make the healing sound, because if we're like this, whether it's heart sound you're using or lung sound, the organ is too compressed. It needs to be relaxed for the healing sound to be effective. So we need to come up. That means we come up every round, every other round, every third round, however many times you want to come up. But I just wanted to illustrate to you after one round how the sound can't be made while you're still in this position. Try it if you don't believe me. You'll feel it doesn't, it's blocked. In, out. In, out. In, out. Press down with the hand on the knee. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out, and sound. Okay, we'll do 2 more rounds. In, out. 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 Straighten up. Okay, so that's swing the head and sway the tail to eliminate the heart fire. We go to piece number 6. 2 hands hold the toes to strengthen the waist and kidneys. And we're going to use kidney sound on this one. All right, so we go back, step back into hip width distance. I'm going to show you the side view first. I'm going to inhale and exhale. I'm going to hold the position and inhale. Place my mind in the Ming Ben gate. Same level as the navel. Okay? That's on the governing vessel on your back. Inhale. Exhale, bend down with your back as straight as possible. Pull up on knees, ankles, or toes, farthest you can reach. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, press down gently, as though grounding your energy, and make the healing sound for kidney. Okay, in and out. Mind in the Ming Men. In, out, back as straight as possible. Pull up, in, out. Inhale, come up. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In, pull up. Out. Inhale, come up. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Inhale, come up. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. Pull up. In. Out. Inhale, come up. Exhale. An enhancement. While I pull up on the toes, I'm going to shift my weight from side to side. Okay? In. Out. In. Out. Pull up on the toes and keep breathing. Inhale, come up. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. Pull up, keep breathing, shift the weight, and come up. One more enhancement. I'm going to twist to the sides, okay? In, out, in, out. I'm going to reach over with my left hand, grab my left heel, right hand grabs the outside of the left foot. I twist. Continue to breathe. Now, right hand grabs the heel of the right foot, left hand on the outside of the right foot, twist. Yeah. Twist again. And back to center. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Okay, and that's piece number 6. Piece number 7. Left, right, screw the fist and punch with fiery eyes. I'll start with the side view. Step out, the right foot up to a double shoulder with horse stance. In, out, chamber the fist loosely, turn, screw the fist, punch, and glare. Okay? Inhale, come up. Exhale, chamber the fist, squat down, buttocks tucked under. Turn, screw the fist, punch, and glare. Okay? Inhale, come up. Exhale. Exhale. Okay. Don't lock the elbow. Inhale, exhale. Knees stay straight ahead. Screw the fist, punch and glare. Momentarily tighten the fist and then immediately relax it. Inhale, come up. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. in, out, in. Step back in to hip width distance for piece number 8. The hundreds of illnesses, wait and see later, they'll be gone. Hip width distance, 3 parts, just like piece number 4. So hands on the hips for the first part. With the toes pointing straight ahead. Exhale, lift up the heels. Hold for 3 seconds. Inhale, lower them back down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Turn your toes out. See, now I'm splay-footed like this. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Turn your toes in. Now pigeon-toed. Exhale. Inhale. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. And in. One more. Out. And in. Piece number 2. Oh, just like in piece number 4, the hands are like this. Thumbs on the outside of the waist. Toes straight ahead. Exhale up. Inhale down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Turn toes out. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Turn toes in. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Piece number 3, part number 3. Hands like this. Feet, toes point straight ahead. Exhale up. Inhale down. Turn toes out. Exhale. Inhale. Turn toes in. One more. Okay. Now that's 8 pieces with enhancements created, I believe created by Dr. Yan Ming. I haven't seen them anywhere else, but there's many different versions because the exercise is almost 1,000 years old. Somebody posted a comment on one of my videos. Actually, it was the ear exercise video, but any evidence this works? And that's, well, it's from the Sitting 8 Pieces of Brocade, which is nearly 1,000 years old. So I think if it didn't work, it would have been like bloodletting, long ago abandoned as a cure for anything. Okay, so we saw that the clash of 6 healing sounds and 8 pieces of brocade isn't the clash at all because they harmonize very nicely, except for the fact that in piece number 5 you have to choose between the heart sound and the lung sound. Otherwise one of them gets left out of the routine. But otherwise totally compatible. So while each routine is used in China to combat COVID, you can combine the two and presumably get even better benefit. Now, I think the 6 healing sounds is really for people who are disabled and maybe cannot stand up long enough to do 8 pieces. So 6 healing sounds that are for people in a very weakened condition would be the one that would be most suitable. But for people who are able to stand, we did 40 minutes, and that was only about half the repetitions prescribed. So if you can stand for 40 minutes to an hour, yeah, the standing 8 pieces of brocade is better. When you combine with the healing sounds, you got the whole benefit of all of it. For the COVID, of course, it attacks first the lungs and then spreads to the other organs. So you would want to prefer the lung sound for defending the lungs. So if I take a step forward and I'm like this, feet hip width apart, front foot pointing straight ahead, rear foot at a 45-degree angle just straight ahead. If I want to turn 90 degrees, my only option is left. Because when the right foot is forward, you can only turn left 90 degrees. Or you can turn 180 too, if you wish. So to turn 90 degrees to the left, I shift the weight back. Now remember, as I've said, each time we've talked about this, the proportion of shift back is up to you and the condition of your leg joints. So I might go 50-50 or 60-40, still turning with a lot of weight on that foot because I've been doing it for over 25 years. So my legs are quite used to it. But you might want to shift back to 80-20 or 90-10 even. So if your legs aren't used to it, shift the weight back. Foot doesn't turn, waist turns. Turn the waist, the foot follows. Okay. So I turn the foot in 45 degrees. Now it's going to be pointing that way. I shift the weight to the right leg. I empty the left foot, peel it off heel to toe. Now, as I told you before, there is one movement in Tai Chi where we don't bring the foot into center. That's the fair lady who works the shuttle. But in other cases, we bring the foot into center, catch the balance. Remember, it's just so you can kick. But you don't have to kick. Now you just catch your balance and then step your foot out to hip width distance. Roll down on the sole. The left foot, toes point straight ahead. Shift the weight and sink into the root. Your weight distribution at the end of the turn will be 60% on the front leg, 40% on the back leg. Now with my left foot forward, I can turn to the right. So shift the weight back, making sure that my right knee bends in the same direction that the toes on my right foot are pointing. I do not want to do this with my knee. Okay, and that tends to roll up the sole of your foot, which you don't want either. It's bad for both ankle and knee if you allow the knee to bend in that direction rather than this direction in which the toes are pointing. Shift the weight, your proportion. Turn the waist, the foot follows. Foot turns 45 degrees. Shift the weight, empty the right leg. Shift the weight onto the left leg, peel the right foot off heel to toe. Step into center to catch the balance. Step out, hip width distance between the heels, heel down. Foot pointing straight ahead, sole down. Shift the weight. And remember this, as you shift the weight and you achieve the 60-40 proportion, mentally you sink and root. Sink into your root like this. We give you another angle on these turns. So let's try this angle. So right foot's ahead, circle only turn left. Shift the weight back, turn the waist, turn the right foot in 45 degrees. Shift the weight onto the right leg. Bend the right knee in the same direction that the toes are pointing on the right foot. Peel off the left foot heel to toe. Step into center and catch the balance. Step out, hip width distance between the heels. Heel down, sole down. This is just like the straightforward walking, like walking on ice. Shift the weight, 60-40. Sink into the root. I shift the weight back, knee bends in the same direction as the right foot. Okay, so the right foot's pointing at a 45-degree angle just straight ahead. I'm facing that way. Shift the weight back, your proportion. Turn the waist, turn the left foot in 45 degrees. Pivoting on the heel, okay? Shift the weight to the left leg, roll down on the sole of the left foot. Knee bends in the same direction as the toes on the left foot are pointing. Empty the right foot, peel it off heel to toe. Step into center, catch the balance, step out. Hip width distance, heel down, sole down. Shift the weight, sink into the root, okay? $180. 180 turn, so from this direction, I'm going to turn 180. So I'm just step forward, say with my right foot. So my right foot's pointing straight ahead. My left foot's at a 45-degree angle, just straight ahead. I shift the weight, your proportion. Turn the waist and turn the right foot pivoting on the heel. See, pivots on the heel. As far as I can, up to 135 degrees. Mine right now won't turn even 90, so shift the weight onto the right leg. Bend the right knee in the same direction that the toes on the right foot are pointing. Shift the weight to the right leg. Pick up the heel of the left foot, allow it to turn on the ball. Empty the left foot, step into center and catch the balance. Step out, hip width distance between the heels. You have to get a feel for that. Roll down on the sole of the left foot, toes pointing straight ahead. shift the weight. Now look, I have to adjust my rear foot, because if I don't, I'm left with this. Can you see my knee? That feels as bad as it looks, okay? So what I'm going to do is I shift my weight, is pivot, turn my waist and pivot. So I'm shifting my weight and turning my waist, okay? I will pivot on the heel of my right foot and turn it so that it completes the 135-degree turn. Now, my right leg is comfortable. My right foot is at a 45-degree angle, just straight ahead. The other way, the same thing, only reversed. Shift the weight, turn the waist. Look at that left hip. Can make it all the way to 135. Shift the weight onto the left leg. Lift up the heel of the right foot, allow it to turn on the ball. Empty the right foot, step into center and catch the balance. You can put your foot down if you need to. Step out, recapture hip width distance. Heel down, sole of the right foot pointing straight ahead. Shift the weight. Maybe I need to adjust 5 or 10 degrees here. So I'll shift the weight and I'll turn my waist and adjust to complete the 135. But I got probably 125 out of the left foot, left hip. Okay, so if you keep doing this, see already much more than 90. It's good for the hip joints. I did promise sideways walking, and you want to see what it means when Taiji Walking goes sideways. So, you know, sometimes when things go sideways, it's slang for not a good way. But sideways in Taiji Walking is very good. It corresponds with the movement wave hands like clouds, which is like this. I'm moving faster than normal because we don't have a lot of time. So Taiji Walking and wave hands like clouds is like this. Okay, but to simplify things for Taiji Qigong, we'll just begin with the feet. Taiji Walking can go left or right. And in order to do the Taiji Walking, I'm going to shift my weight. I'm going to go left this way. So I'm going to shift my weight to the right leg. I'm going to empty the left foot. Now the left foot's got to be empty the whole way, because it's not, I'm going to pick up the left foot, so it has to be empty. If I don't completely empty it, it's going to be the violation of distinguishing substantial from insubstantial. And that's going to be very awkward. In fact, I'm not even sure how I could show you that if I didn't. Okay, it's going to be like that if I don't empty it the whole way. Okay, so empty. Peel off the left foot heel to toe. Pick it up, step out. Only as far as I can easily put the foot down and pick it up again. Because just like stepping forward, we want to keep our balance at all times. So only as far as we can easily put the foot down and pick it up again. All right? Shift the weight, empty the left foot, peel it off heel to toe. Step out, only as far as you can easily put the foot down, pick it up again. Placing the foot down with the front edge, now the side edge. Now I shift the weight, it's flat. This foot, I'm peeling off heel to toe and outside to inside. Stepping into center. Hip width distance, not like this, hip width distance because the steps should be uniform. I don't want to take a big step and then a little step. Okay, steps to be uniform. Part of the mental discipline that makes this moving meditation mind focused on regulating the body. Okay, so stepping, peeling off the right foot heel to toe, stepping in, inside edge down, front inside edge, whole inside edge, shift, flat, foot flat. Now left foot, peeling off, stepping out, inside edge down, front inside edge, whole inside edge, flat, shifting, peeling off, stepping in, down. Okay. Yes, it develops leg strength. Okay. So, and again, like the forward walking, we're doing it very, very slowly. So, yeah, you could do it fast, particularly if you wanted to do for martial art training. But for leg strength and balance training, bone density building, we do it very slowly. The slower, the better. But if you're coordinating with the breathing, not so slow that you have to hold your breath. Shift the weight, peel off, step out, roll down, shift the weight, peel off, step in, roll down. And the other thing you have to get the feel for is the toes should be even. So if I were adhering to one of the lines in the tiles here, then my toes should be even with the same line after each step. It takes practice. So let me ask you if there's any questions. The last 2 Saturdays are up on YouTube, so you can review those parts of Taiji Walking. And I'll get this one up in a day or so. Although you can help yourself training if you went to, say, Home Depot and got a half round, what do they call those things? Trim, thing. It's like a semicircle, it's half round, and laid that down. And then if you stepped out, you could feel, like if your foot touched the wood piece, you could feel it was too far forward. Or you want to find exactly, where the tip of the toe touches lightly, doesn't fall behind, doesn't step over the half round. So that's one way you could do it. You could also, if you were daring, use a regular board with a 90-degree edge. Be a little bit more abrupt, but yeah. But yeah, it's a feel for it. And getting the hip width distance when you step out, 2 things are required. One is the feel for the hip width distance. The second is the balance, the strength, the leg strength, and the ability to hold your balance to step out long enough in terms of time to get that hip width distance. Because a lot of the times when people they're quickly moving because they're falling, okay? So you need to be able to hold that position. Whoa, come on, hold the position. There we go. So you can get the hip width distance. If you don't have the leg strength or the balance, it's difficult, but it develops. So Tai Chi develops tremendous leg strength. Yeah. When you've been doing it for, say, 10 years or so, and you go to do pushing hands with somebody who's fairly new to it, and you're doing pushing hands, and then just show your whole body. Okay. So you're doing the pushing hands And after about half an hour or so, well, now probably after 15 minutes, 10 minutes, they're saying, can we change legs? And you're going, okay. But you don't feel like you need to change legs. And you kind of remember what it feels like to have your legs tire out that quickly. The tremendous leg strength.